this is Lindsay from The Homey Life, and today I'm going to show you how to make this very simple, no-knead sourdough raisin bread recipe. Super easy, great lazy man recipe if you don't have a lot of time and you don't want to do all that extra kneading. So let's get started now.
For this recipe, you're going to need half a cup of active sourdough starter. Now my starter lives in the fridge, so as long as I have fed it within the last 2 to 3 days, it still has bubbles in it and I can use it. After you put half a cup of sourdough starter, you want 1 cup of filtered water, give it a little mix with your dough whisk, and then you're going to be adding 2 teaspoons of sea salt, 1/3 cup of sugar of your choice. I like to use Rapadura sugar. Then I add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon or allspice, 3 tablespoons of softened butter. Now this is actually butter that I have made myself. It's homemade spreadable butter, and I do have a recipe for that on my blog post. I can link that below as well. Give it a bit of a mix, and then you're going to be adding 3.5 cups of flour. You'll be adding the flour in 1 cup at a time and giving it a really good mix with your dough whisk. Honestly, if you don't have a dough whisk, you should get one. They are amazing. I'll have a link in the descriptions below as well. Add 1 cup of raisins and give that a good mix through. I generally do that about halfway with my flour, and then I'll add the last cup of flour. It's just easier to incorporate that way. Now, the dough will get to a point where it's a bit too hard to mix with your dough whisk. You're going to want to oil your hands up and then just finish rolling that ball up until it's nice, kind of sticky ball. Once it's all nice and rolled up together into a ball, you're going to want to spray or oil your bowl and then add your nice little ball into it. Cover it with a beeswax wrap, cling wrap, wet towel, whatever you like, and let it sit for about 8 to 12 hours until it has doubled in size. Once it has doubled in size, you'll be able to take it out and we'll proceed with the next process. Now you're going to want to butter a bread pan. So get that nice and buttered up. I love my stainless steel ones. It works great. You'll just take your sourdough raisin bread out. It has risen and it smells so nice by now. Flatten it out. And then you're going to roll it up. So I leave the bread pan close by so I can see about how much I need to flatten it out to. Roll it up. Roll it back and forth a few times to increase the tension, and you're going to want to then turn it around and pinch the seams, and then just roll it a few more times just to even it all out, and then place it into your bread pan. Now you're going to once again cover it with a cling wrap or a beeswax wrap or a wet towel, and you're going to let it continue to rise again. Now you'll let it rise for about 2 up to 4 more hours until it's about 1 inch above your bread pan. Now at this point you'll have your oven preheated to 220 degrees Celsius, which is about 440 degrees Fahrenheit if I remember correctly. And once it has reached the temperature, that's when you'll place your raisin bread in. I also like to add a couple of ice cubes in just before I put my raisin bread in, or any bread in, because it increases the humidity and allows your bread to rise more. Let your bread cook for 40 minutes, and once it has cooked for the 40 minutes, turn it off, take it out, and let it cool on a cooling rack for a solid hour, if not even overnight. You really want your bread to finish cooking on the inside and cooling down completely before you cut it, or you'll find that in the inside it might not be done yet. So always let your breads cool. Then just use a bread knife, cut it to the thickness that you desire, and then it's really easy to store. So I store it several different ways. I'll save some of this because I actually did a double batch. I made normal bread and raisin bread. So I'm going to save some of this into a bread bag. I'm going to put the rest of it into a Ziploc freezer bag. I then just put the ones that's in the bread bag, I put it straight into the fridge because we always just toast ours anyway, or I'll put it into French toast, so it's fine if it's in the fridge. The ones that I put in the Ziploc freezer bag, there is a little trick to it. Place them in the Ziploc freezer bag, get a straw, seal it up, and put that straw in just into the corner, and then suck out the air, and this will create a pretty good vacuum seal that you'll see here in just a moment. Suck all the air out, and then you can put this straight into the freezer. I always cut the bread first. It's so much easier if you cut the bread first and then place it in the freezer. So cut it first, place it in the freezer. It will last several months that way, no issues, like up to 4 to 6 months generally. It's fine if its seal is good, and then use it however you like. The full recipe will be below. I'll have a link to my blog post with the full printable recipe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. See you guys again soon.